Hey everyone, my name is Sam Swegel. I was given an assignment to advertise myself, so I thought, what better to do than to give you all a glimpse into my life as a college student? This is a portrait of my college life. Being in the dorms, I have to admit that sleep hasn't been of greatest importance in my life recently. I'm still a morning person at heart though, so I generally like to start my days with an early alarm around 7 a.m. That'll snooze until my next alarm, and the next, and the next, until I can't bear the alarms every few minutes and decide I should probably get to class. It's a vicious cycle, but the system hasn't failed me yet. By this point, it's usually around 7:30 or 8. Once I actually get out of bed, things are quite easy. I'll get ready, and depending on the day, I'll either go to class or get breakfast with my friends. It's a 50-50 shot if I'm a walking zombie or I'm wide awake and ready for the day. And that usually depends on how many times I've hit the snooze button. Moving on to my early activities, I generally have peak motivation when it's earlier in the morning, so I like to take advantage of this by working on personal things like Duolingo and goal writing. It's my hope to get back into more things like honing my stock trading skills, reading, and working on YouTube skills in this time. By 9:30 or 10, I'll generally be at class or working on homework for the week. I eat lunch at noon and then have more classwork afterward, and this generally lasts until around 2 or 3, and if I'm in a crunch, I'll go as late as 5. And this is where the fun begins. If I'm done with homework or need a break, I like to mix it up a bit. One of my favorite things to do in my free time is mountain biking. Whether it's cruising through town, racing through trails, doing jumps and tricks, or going for an aimless adventure, I can always have fun on my bike. No matter how my day is going, all I need to do is hop on and go for a ride, and I'll be ready to tackle whatever's next in my day. I don't ride as much as I used to, because I've looked to diversify the ways that I exercise, and I just haven't had the discipline to get out and actually exercise like I should. Despite this, I'll still get around 2 to 3, maybe even 4 or 5 rides a week if I'm feeling good. Speaking of other kinds of exercise, some of my favorite alternatives to biking include running and going to the gym. Because, you gotta get those gains, am I right? Another thing I love to get involved with is music. I'm in both a band and a choir, which meet 3 times a week, and then in my free time, I like to practice marimba every once in a while. Practicing outside of rehearsals is a relatively new habit for me, but I've found that I enjoy the challenge and opportunity to make some cool sounds on my own time. I don't always get around to playing marimba, but on the days that I do, I'll range anywhere from 10 minutes to over an hour of just playing. It's really fun to simply get lost in the music, and this is what brings me back every time. One last pastime I've had recently is occasionally watching YouTube. I enjoy watching things, but this habit will not last long as I work to move toward better and more fun uses of my time, like pursuing goals and learning new skills. This brings me to my next milestone each day at 5 o'clock, which is house dinner. My dorm goes together and will consistently get 20 to 30 people, so it's a great social time. After dinner, I'll do a variety of things depending on the day. This can include homework, socializing, participating in religious groups, and making up for activities that I failed to complete earlier in the day, such as exercise or personal goals. These evening activities generally last until around 10 p.m. This is when I start getting ready for bed, but inevitably socialize and don't actually get to bed until midnight or so. Is it good for me? Well, not exactly, but I often have the time of my life in these late night moments with all of my friends in the dorm, so I find myself happy with the fact that I have been enjoying my youthful life as a college student, even if it means I can't achieve all of my goals just yet. I reflect on all this and each day's events in my journal. It's one of the last things I do every night, and I love taking the time to reflect on where I'm at and the general happenings of life. Things can get really crazy and really fun at times. And depending on the day, I may have done anything, such as building a massive leaf pile, or exploring sewers. partying it up with my dorm, or going to massive church services. I'll also go to various athletic events, such as volleyball or football. And sometimes if it's an away game, I like to watch with my dorm and proceed to celebrate like crazy whenever we beat our rivals. Being a Midwesterner, I love watching weather come in too.
Take shelter immediately.
I'm ready to take shelter immediately.
Ever since I was young, I've been fascinated by weather, so I love to go out and watch as the power of nature looms ever closer and soak in these rare events as they unfold around me. Now, being a college student, my decision-making skills aren't the best, so sometimes I'll stay out a little too long and experience a storm as it hits me. Fun as this may be, it doesn't have to be a significant event either. It could be something as simple as watching an infinite flushing toilet, having a staring contest with a raccoon, spectating the latest college stunts, or laughing at small things with my friends whenever I visit home.
Let's go! Look at that!
Whatever my day may have held, I will have enjoyed it and lived extraordinarily in some way. If anything, I can rest assured knowing that tomorrow is always an opportunity to do even better, so until then, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching, and good night.